Yeah, that's the big thing. Like we often talk about the draft, and then we don't necessarily get into the player styles. Like that, the way that, for example, Illidan would play a Chaos Knight would be very different to what Loader would play, or in this game, for example, what V2 would do on a CK, and that matters because you've got these different play styles comparing the carries, but then you've got 5 different elements of this team. It's like if I give you 5 different weird kind of shapes, how many different blobs could you make with them, right? Blob's maybe not the best choice of words because it sounds messy.
Blobs is an amazing word. I love it. Big blob Centaur is going to be accompanied by a safe lane Terrorblade, it seems. Centaur on the offlane, Terrorblade on the safe lane, and their last pick will be their mid, even though they do not have the last pick of the game. And because of that, J178 will find it easy to just counterplay that and counterpick it. I believe this Lina on the offlane plus Omni could work fairly well versus the Warlock and TB. And Lina doesn't have to be mid. It can be your position 4 and Disruptor position 5, and then you can last pick your midder that's decent versus the TB and whatever it is that HellRaisers pick. A good pick. That's Zeus ban. Interesting, because Zeus would actually be quite decent for J178 as well, but like it's decent versus Terrorblade, but maybe it doesn't round up their draft very well. Perhaps they need something a bit more upfront, something a bit more active. They already have a couple of those squishy heroes. They can't really round it up with another one, I suppose. They ban out the Zeus. Very interesting.
5 seconds remaining.
Why would they ban out the Zeus? What are they going to pick?
Are they maybe looking at something like a Pugna just to ramp up the tower pushing capabilities early on? Like strip control the map so the TB can't fall back to a non-existent jungle.
Not the worst pick, but I would rather see something that's able to jump on top of the Warlock. I think a perfect pick for them would be an Ember. But it's a last pick, and maybe HellRaisers will just take it for themselves. Why I think Ember is good is because it's a hero that's picked for Terrorblade so often. It's amazing versus him. It's a hero that Pikachu can play. And also it's a hero that can get on top of Warlock easily to take him down at the start of the fight. So you get that mobility, you get that range initiation, and you also get a hero that with some Shiva's Maelstrom can deal with the illusion super easily.
It exploits the value of Disruptor in the early mid game as well. That kind of, we just got a kill, and now because of Glimpse, we're going to flip a second kill. Ember's that type of hero that has that rundown.
Also, Drow Ranger used to be picked versus TB quite a lot, but long time ago, like 6 months ago, maybe even 7. Interesting ban. I haven't really seen Drow in quite a long time.
Maybe unlikely against the Scent as well.
They go with the co-op. J178, they could definitely go for that Ember if they wanted to. It's not banned. What else could they do though? They could even put that Lina mid. She's decent versus the co-op too. It's kind of skill-based matchup, but Lina can't deal with her. Like by the time Queen of Pain comes in to Shadow Strike, you stun her, you hit her 5 times, Queen of Pain is low already. It's a matchup that Lina can win, and then you could pick another support.
Maybe some like a Puck here? Really screws up the Stampede potential. I don't know if TB cares.
It's pretty
enough
good
though.
versus co-op as well, yeah. They already have Disruptor for the Centaur and Stampede. They can catch people out. This Disruptor pick is really strong in the game. I know No-Tail said that this hero isn't the strongest one out there, but I love the impact the Disruptor can have once he gets level 6, or later on in the game he has another great spike once he gets that Aghanim Scepter. It just changes the way the game has to be played.
It's the complexity level of it as well. Like when you're initiating these fights, you think about these supports that get 1 or 2 second windows, but they can't use any of their abilities, right? For a Disruptor, he can literally just press the buttons. That's an oversimplification, but when you think about how these ganks usually go, Disruptors lead the way, they pop down their ultimate, and they don't care.
I was wondering if they'll do something like that. This Dragonite, I like they have a lot of these squishies early on the side of J178, and getting something like a Dragonite will allow them to have this stable frontliner. Also, this Dragonite can invest into, let's say, a Blink Dagger and serve as that initiation. Blink Dagger stun, then you follow up with Disruptor ulti. Queen of Pain is that, Warlock is that very easily. So I like the Dragonite as well. It's also a hero that can't be zoned out by Nyx's Queen of Pain too easily. Some Queen of Pains, like you could max out your Shadow Strike on the mid lane, but even that doesn't do a whole lot versus DK. So
It tends to tickle them. I also like the DK because this is a Radiance building type hero. You're against a TB, you do get value
5
there.
seconds remaining.
I also feel that this is kind of leaning to what they want. I think that Zeus ban was actually focused on a Pugna originally, but they didn't know what HellRaisers were doing yet, right? They clearly looked at the lineup on J178 and went, we don't actually push towers right now. But the DK is perfect, especially with the Omni Knight now, right? Because that extra strength is going to make taking towers all the much quicker and just allow him to kind of take control of the early mid game and be a true tempo carry.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Petushara.
anything out of the ordinary? No, looks like we've got all our standard expectations. Plantomos will be carrying that Gyro. Something to get more
Petushara.
active. You're obsessed with Petushara, aren't you?
I'm obsessed with Petushara.
You know what I'm obsessed with? The fact
He's
that
my boy.
for some reason Petushara wasn't available as his Twitch name, so you had to have an S on the end.
Petushara S, yeah. It's a very popular word, I guess. It was a very popular word. That's what I've been told. It's been a very popular word a few years ago. It was a meme. But whatever, let's look if this Dragonite is going to be a dragon meme or if he's going to actually be able to contribute to his team and bring them back to 1-1 versus HR, because HR looked pretty damn amazing in that first match.
No, definitely. They were on fire. And the big kind of key thing to focus on was Vtune. And you've given over another hero
Prepare for battle.
that can do similar to the Void, right? Like, TB, you think about his farm speed, and you think about the pressure he applies. This could be another one of those games that is just defined by Vtune.
He plays a lot to these guys. Like, I believe this is another hero that play. So they aren't truly picking the heroes that are completely in the meta. They're just picking his comfort zone. He loves the Void. He loves the Wraith King. And I believe I've seen a lot of his Terrorblade back in the day too. Not really a hero that's even close to being in the meta, but they pick him nonetheless. Meanwhile, DM turns his booty towards that tower and shakes it. Attack me, baby, as the tower slams that ass. But Centaur just goes away with 5 retaliate stacks. He built up that rage and now he's ready. He's ready to smash.
Yeah, I mean, Poshka was there whispering in his ear with his shadow word the whole while, just letting him know that it's okay to be tapped on the booty. And it's a DK. A DK is very unlikely to punish you for doing that. Well, Aloha Dance needs to get his ward down without being seen. He should scout that Plantomos is here. They've already got an aggressive J178 in the top lane. And TB's just hiding any chance of them knowing where he is exactly on the map. The problem is DM shows, so it's kind of a given.
Poshka is just trying to rotate behind. Steal this one. Will he be able to? Most likely not.
Can get the deny.
Not even deny, yeah.
Let's do a piece. No serious aggression on either side. Poshka maybe tries to hang around on the mid, see if he can snipe the courier, but Lina knows about it.
They're pinging him out. Yeah, they're pinging him out, so the courier shouldn't go DK's way. I've seen mid laners fail this and even send the courier. It might happen again. The courier is going. It stops on the tier 2, yeah. They're cautious enough. Sometimes it happens, your midder still sends the core. But now when the Warlock shows stop, he'll be able to do that. When it comes to the laning stage, both of these lanes, top and bottom, have some kill potential. On the bottom lane, Disruptor can easily fall to Centaur plus Rubik if he's not careful enough. And on the top lane...
Not getting much value out of this meta so far.
On the top lane as well, that's one worry that I had. Lina brings so much burst damage versus the Terrorblade, and I thought, alright, burst damage comes later, but early on in the laning stage, usually Lina just goes 2-3, right? She doesn't level up Dragon Slave.
He could die here if he's not careful. He'll get out just in time, but this is rough.
They have a salve, and it is rough, but Vtune will go back into the lane to farm with his full HP, but that meta was completely whiffed and wasted. He got 1 CS out of it.
Speaking of CS, Pikachu off to a good start in the mid lane. You kind of expect this, though. You can screw up the Quops CSing with the Brood Fire. At the same time, you can't really be forced off of the creep wave with the daggers. We're looking on the bot. So far, DM feeling pretty good. Hasn't used the Retaliate yet, but an opportunity will come up very quickly. Gyrocopter not really known for his tankiness.
They were waiting for level 2 on Rubik. That's the most important part of this lane. You're waiting for that telekinesis. Once he has it, you can perhaps make a play. I believe once Rubik gets this rune. Well, he didn't get anything, but even if he did get it, he'd probably return bottom. He wouldn't try to go for the DK, as DK is just a beast. He's already level 3, 2 levels in that passive, and as you just said, it's very easy for him to lane on that mid lane versus a co-op, as she just tickles him with the Shadow Word, with the Shadow Strike. He just stands there, spams Breathe Fire, and that's it.
V2's in
V2,
trouble.
however,
They're not stopping right now. They're cutting through the trees, but it's a Warlock.
yeah, Petushara just lost way too much HP and he had to retreat. That's why VTune is able to continue farming. And so far they didn't manage to kill him, which is really good for him. And the Warlock, as Warlock brought more region, he has more mangoes to work with and more Shadow Words to spam out. Lina soon will run out of that mana that she's working with.
I feel like they're still going to run out first on HellRaisers right now, though. You got a Mango on Petushara and Bignum. Miposhi's not got much mana left and only one Mango, and Vtune has one Tango left. So they're winning the regen war so far.
Yeah,
Radiant structures are fortified.
but at least the Terrorblade is farming a little bit under the tower and whatnot. They haven't managed to kill him so far. At least they didn't manage to completely shut him down.
And they've kind of
But
screwed their
they-
own CS up as well.
Yeah, suddenly TB is 15-1 versus 8-3 on Omni, and that's all because they were trying to dive while their creeps were dying and hitting each other. So you commit to that dive and you don't get a kill. Bottom lane, Happy Durara. This is what we talked about. This is it. One more hit.
Tap,
He
but
solves
there's
that.
South. He'll be fine.
He's good. Yeah.
Phantomos scares them away. This is where they have to be a little bit careful about how they engage, because that is level 2 Rocket Barrage, and even the Centaur melts pretty quick. The mid lane continued to be a draw as it is. Yeah, Nyx only goes for that 1 point Shadow Strike. It's like, okay, typical build these days for Queen of Pains, unless you're absolutely certain that you can just push your opponent out of lane, in which case you start maxing Shadow Strike, but this isn't the case. Uh-oh. Hello, Dance. He'll get away. He had to use the lift, though, because Diorara did get that DD. Things will calm down for a moment. Actually, all in all, things are incredibly calm. We're 4 minutes in. No blood spilt just yet. However...
Yeah, 0-0. And that's all because that Terrorblade was able to survive on the top lane for a few, 2-3 times, and also Happy Durara on that bottom lane manages to get out. On the mid lane, we don't even have to check it out. I believe this lane will not produce a giant winner, not when it comes to kills at least.
No, not as much a winner as a winner. If how goes down this lane, it's going to be more because of mistakes than anything. Although Nyx is having to walk all the way back to base. He didn't get his hands on that rune. It's hurt him.
Yep, it's a good thing that J178, they always send at least one support to control the rune. Because of that, Nyx is forced back. Oh, Aloha Dance.
It's dragged back. But DM did get the other rune. So it looks like it's going to be even trades on runes.
Yeah, 2 for 2 when it comes to runes. Terrorblade has to be super careful top though. Bignum is waiting for him to pop his head out and instantly follow up with the stun.
Nothing will happen because Miposhka arrives again. He brought more mangoes. He's got his stick now, but Bignum's level 3. This is where you can start killing people.
Dude, it's so annoying to play versus Warlock when you're a support, when you want to kill players, you want to kill people. And there's just Warlock sitting behind them, doing nothing, just spamming that Shadow Word. You're just cursing him and wishing his internet drops or something.
That Resident Sleeper type support. You know, Lich used to be that way as well with the old Sacrifice.
It's the Warlocks, Liches, Witch Doctors, Dazzles, sit behind, heal, chill. This is when Pikachu though uses his form, and this is we might see happening around that mid lane. Usually every team tries to punish this DK with the first Karti, as that's when he uses the form and tries to pressure your tier 1. He gets overly aggressive, you punish him. However, they don't really have heroes for that. Instead, Queen of Pain...
He might go down. He's got the Breathe Fire, gets him low, but they'll heal up just as the Dragon Form ends. They did rotate both their supports, which means they surrender their outer lanes for the moment.
DM is being went on the bottom lane, but he just shrugs it off.
No, he's playing the wave really well in this lane so far. Like, it feels like Gyrocopter hasn't had a single opportunity to get a good rocket barrage onto this big pony.
He's playing the lane really well, and he also has more. Yes, 33 versus 30 of Gyro. DM has definitely outplayed them here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
As a result, the Centaur is going to become problematic eventually. You know, you get to a point. Usually, when you're a Gyro in this type of lane, you get to the point where you're like, I can just kill people, right? But Centaur feels like
You
the
never
perfect
get to that
counter.
point.
Exactly. He's
Yeah,
like, guys, look at my strength gauge. There's no way you're getting through me before you run out.
You
of
never
mana.
get to that point. He has like 200-300 HP more than anyone at every given point, so it's ridiculous. DK is very similar as he pops that form once again and goes for that tier 1 on the mid lane. Has 2 bracers to work with, going for power threads again. Like, he's very tanky, but Queen of Pain does not care about tankiness of the gyrocopter as she's rotating bottom. They want to kill him before he's 6.
She has a 6 Sonic Wave at the ready. Plantimos throwing out the flat cannon. There isn't 6 on DM yet, though, but they'll lift him into the stomp and then clean up the Sonic Wave. First blood gets drawn, definitely worthwhile for them. I have the Light Strike array.
Rotation by Bignum, but he has to be careful as well, as he has very low mana to work with. Disruptor is around too. They're trying to spam the Centaur and the whole aggression away, and it looks like they will be successful. It's very crazy, like how they're able to shove the team away. So, like, many teams would just say, all right, we lost him and we lost the tower, right? But no, these 2 supports, level 3 and level 4, defend the tower versus a midder that's level, 6 versus an offlaner that's level 5 and the Rubik level 4. Just the 2 of them, they defend. And I know this doesn't look like something amazing, but it's a really nice play from 2 supports.
It's risky posturing as well, right? Because you don't know how close Centaur is to 6. And if they have Stampede, they would dive you at that stage, and you would likely die. So it is a big risk, but big reward, because they keep the tower up, and Gyro needs this kind of space. He can't afford to lose his tier 1 this early. Speaking of which, on the mid, the whole while, DK was whittling away at the tower, but he didn't do as much work as they did on that bot one. So, still relatively healthy in the mid. Queen of Pain, the rotation's not being punished too much. In fact, she's top now because TB... He's gone to that Zen-like state. We've seen it before plenty of times from Terrorblades. Usually as early as level 4. They just say jungle. Jungle sounds better than lane. See ya.
It's pretty much on Nyx to create space and on TB to do 2 things. Farm the jungle and push every time he wants to with the meta and he sees that he's completely out of danger. That's it. But that's your classic Terrorblade gameplay right there. While Gyrocopter, he isn't really too different, but Gyrocopter, once he has drums he can actually join some fights and be active.
Pikachu finally gets the tower. That was the 3rd Elder Dragon form, though, so he didn't get the true value he's looking for, but he can start to move around the map a little bit now.
I think it's alright. He got it with the power threads and 2 bracers. Now he can rotate across the map. He has 1500 HP. Literally no one can kill him if Omni Knight is around. And he can continue pressuring instantly the rotation towards the top lane to make that happen.
I love
He
the
even can't
drum
tank the tower.
in this game from Petrichar as well. That's what he's going for first. It just makes sense with this DK, right? Like, your timings are quite early as around when you want to fight.
The only problem that I see with this rotation towards the top lane by Pikachu is that they noticed his TP. He TP'd top, which means that they could pressure down bottom instantly, but Queen of Pain isn't rotating. Instead, he was running for the bounty. That's a lot of wasted time for Nyx. Unfortunate, but Centaur might still go for the gyro. Let's see. Nope.
Nah, they glyph. They just want the tower. And Plantimos' positioning is pretty on point. Like, he realizes Stampede from that point won't reach him in time. So he's not too scared. The problem is they start to open up the jungle now, and maybe TV decides to play around this area. You run into problems. I think that's the big kind of highlight here, is it feels like Terrorblade to an extent has more freedom of where he farms than the gyro, if that makes sense at this stage. Like, once you've got drums, it's different. But
because Terrorblade can farm anywhere.
Yes.
Like, you just pop a couple of illusions, you send them to the lane, you go back into the jungle. The illusions aren't only out pushing the lane, they're also giving you vision, so you know what's happening. And it's much easier for a TB to farm than it is for a gyro. At this point, at least. Especially when you don't have any stacks and no levels in Flag Cannon.
No, it doesn't look like he's going to get any stacks. Actually, no, he's got a double stack on the Ancients. That's at least something. And they've stacked a few of these camps.
Another Dragon form. They're stacking up top for the Centaur.
The
He
Emperor's
can't
out.
escape this. There's Glimpse.
Yeah, the Heavenly Grace was nicely timed as well. Laguna on the side. Bignum actually gets baited into his own death. Aloha Dance didn't have the steal for Laguna, though.
Warlock is still 5.
This is brave. I mean, they're trying to get through Pikachu, but he doesn't care. It's just DK for you.
This is really problematic for them that they do not have a 6. If they had Warlock 6, this defense is super simple and easy for them, but they need to get it. They need to get this Warlock's levels as soon as possible. Miposhka is such a selfless player. Like, he plays in such a way that he allows his teammates to thrive, but not necessarily himself. Hence why he has only Magic Stake and Tangos in his inventory. Like, he has one item. Basically, everything else is a consumable. And yeah, it's just the type of a player that he is, very selfless. But now that he has that level 6, perhaps they can search for a fight with a good Fatal Bonds and Chaotic Offering.
He's the type of player that you could see playing Undying all the time, right? Like, you want him on those type of heroes. Warlock, it's weird because it is, but at the same time, getting 6 quickly is so important.
Yeah, you have to be greedy a little bit, at least when it comes to your experience. You need to get it as soon as possible. Also, having some boots isn't that bad. How can you play a game without no boots on a Warlock? Look,
with
you have 330 movement speed with a smoke that gives you 15% movement speed. Like, you're, I don't know, you're a slowpoke. By the time you get anywhere, the teamfight is already done and concluded.
Well, it's all for nothing anyway. They're moving into the jungle, but you can already see this. 178 have moved top again. Pikachu has Dragon Form again.
But it's not necessarily for nothing, as they might ward up the high grounds here, and that will allow them to push the tier 2 and trade it for the top tier 2. So, all things considered, they might get some map control at least.
Oh boy. Well, someone was bound to be the sacrificial lamb. It's just painful that it's your offlaner.
Is it just me, or these centaurs are really, really being destroyed today? I haven't seen a single centaur have a good game.
Yeah, it's not exactly kind of like the Grand National level. It's more like the horse that won't come out of his pen when the race starts so far. Ironically, this game just features a disruptor, which is perfect for bringing that metaphor to a close. But it's just buying time for TB. The only concern is when the DK and the Gyro have this much gold, how much time can you wait?
Yeah, will the DK be able to deal with all the AoE, with the burst of the Lina, with the ulti from the Disruptor as well? Like, you need to be very careful how you use your Sunder. You need to get that DKB too.
Stampede in. Cooldown's full on a Pikachu. Having the grace to try and protect him. Damage in return. Now they drop the rock. It's going to be the Chaotic Offering going through. Sonic Wave. Beautifully done. Plandomos goes down. Pikachu as well. Big kills found. Petashari trying to run away.
That's what we've been waiting for. That's the Fatal Bonds combo that we wanted from Poshka. That was amazing. It wasn't even about the rock. The rock put them in place and held them in the spot.
But it was mixed,
it was Sonic Wave, like with the Fatal Bonds. Like, when he jumped in, he dealt so much damage, he destroyed them.
Yeah, you just have to realize that the Golem is a stun. Like, in your mind, it's always a stun. For a long time, people realized that Warlock, the broken part, theoretically, is the Fatal Bonds. Especially with heroes like Queen of Pain. And, you know, there's also some big potential for Aloha Dance, right? Like, if he gets a steal on any sort of AoE, whether it's the Dragon Slave or the Purifications, less so.
It's such a good game for Rubik. I mean, any game in which you're playing versus an Omni Knight is good for... Whatever spell you steal, you're good. You just press R and on Petushara, and whatever you steal, it's going to prove to be useful. Purification is great. Heavenly's Grace is even better.
You're basically on a rigged slot machine at this stage. Always coming out green. Pikachu is going for that Radiance build. He did actually already pick up the recipe, so he's not too far off it.
Yeah, just like 2k gold away. He's got it.
Pushing him in the meantime. It would be nice to see him move towards the bot, because there's 2 towers up for grabs there. But they're going to try and take this tier 2 while they can, right? All the big combos down for HellRaisers. That's kind of the counter side. They took a good fight, but now they can't really fight for the next minute or two. In the meantime, V2 just continues to farm. He has got the Manta online now. He's going BKB first. That should be where TB just tries to get active.
He has to get this BKB. Like, you cannot fight unless it's a fight like that last one, in which you're completely zoning them away from the Terrorblade with the Rock and the Queen of Pain. If they go on this Terrorblade with Disruptor ulti, he just dies. So it's very important for him to secure himself with a BKB purchase. Obviously, there are saves on the HellRaisers. Rock can be a save. Stampede can be a kill as well.
Pikachu gets the Invis Rune, though. They'll only get the Disruptor. Or they won't. They didn't want to commit. They were scared. The tier 1 was still standing for 178. They weren't risking it.
He's good. Also, they knew that DK took that invis, so if Queen of Pain jumps in, she might land exactly on Dragon Tail, and then she's dead after the stun.
Yeah, especially seeing as you'd have enough time to get the Static Storm down on the Disruptor. So things will calm down for a moment. Benefits J178 a lot because that Radiance is nearing completion, and Gyrocopter, he's almost got the Aghanims, actually.
I mean, it benefits J178, but at the same time, they're playing very passively considering the Warlock has no ult. Like, once that Warlock has no ult, your teamfight should be much simpler and much easier to execute than when he does. And even if you wait for these items, they won't help you too much, as HR, they're kind of a lineup that to deal damage, they don't need items, they just need levels. Queen of Pain and Warlock, they just need levels and that's it. Fateful Bond's already level 4. Queen of Pain uses her Sonic Wave and Scream of Pain, and you're already on like 50% HP on most of your cores even. So,
well, keep in mind as well,
won't help too much.
The other thing is, Warlock's about to get 10. And that's where you can go with those greedy Fatal Bonds damage talents.
Yeah, the talent that has been nerfed like twice in a row, but it's still pretty good. Plus 4%. Wow.
It's like
you see that and you're like, do I really want this?
It's like they should just keep increasing cast range until you get to a point as a Warlock that's like, okay, you've convinced me. Like 150 cast range is good, but like we said, Fatal Bonds, that's what defines this hero. That's what makes him seem broken.
He might be dead here right now.
They got the Radiance as well.
He's dead for sure.
He's fine. He stops any big kills from happening. Gives his life for the course.
Queen of Pain was actually rotating straight there, so if they managed to catch a glimpse of her, they could have killed her with that same glimpse. Thunderstrike plus glimpse and Quap can't escape.
Oh, Phantomos? He's in trouble. The Rocket Barrage. They used the Sonic Wave to make it quick because look at this. No one's nearby. But Chara's going to come in now, but Aloha Dance just TPs away. They were still on a dewarding mission and gets prepping for that push bot.
This game again is looking pretty decent for HellRaisers. Just like that game 1. I think they have a lineup that can definitely fight once that TB gets a BKB. As long as they fight properly around their Warlock's ulti. Right now they've proven to us that they have pick-up potential, and they truly do. Queen of Pain plus Rubik, they can take down even a Gyro, why not?
Happy Dyrara. He jumped the gun a little there. He glimpsed straight away.
That was too early for sure. That was way too early.
He didn't get the deny either. He wasn't pressured at all. A little bit of a slip up for Dyrara.
I believe he was worried that Queen of Pain is going to use Yules there or blink out of his range, but it's a level 4 glimpse. There's no way she gets out of range. But she can blink out and then Yules herself, so that would be problematic. That's maybe why he glimpsed so early.
True, but he didn't drop the Static Storm. That's the surprising part. I stole the biggest cooldown at level 1. You know, 90 seconds is rough, but...
And no one followed up. Lina was porting way too late. That's also perhaps the reason why he didn't catch the Quap. A Quap that's actually accelerating very fast towards that Aghanim Scepter. She has 2 components already, so she will have the Ags in like 1,000 gold.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the Quap plus the Warlock. You know, you're basically taking these heroes and you're unlocking the true ultimate combo, right? Where usually you go, you know, Sonic Wave, huge cooldown, and then you think of the Rock, but instead it's the Failed Bonds on an 18-second cooldown. It'll be a Sonic Wave on a 60. The damage output is going to be insane. And if you look on the other side, you know, BKBs...
If you look on the other side, you will see a smoke. As 178 has smoked up with Lina, Omni Knight, and Disruptor, and they're going straight down. And look at this Warlock. He's the last person that should be this far ahead.
Yeah, but he spotted them early. They can't get on top of him in time. Oh, no, they can. The glimpse is there. That was an ambitious TP, actually.
Very ambitious indeed.
Gets everyone else out nonetheless, though, and make sure that 178 aren't pushing advantages elsewhere.
As long as you don't take a fight, if you're HellRaisers, as long as you don't take a fight in the next 30 seconds, you're good.
There we go. Now you can take a fight when your Warlock's up. As the BKB
wait for him. Warlock is a position 5, but he's such a high impactful position 5. Like, usually I get these questions in the chat, why isn't 5 played, or can you tell us which 5s to play to make the game more fun for us? Just play 5s that have high impact in the game, or can have high impact. Don't play Augurs or something like that. If you lack farm, you feel useless. Pick a Disruptor, Ancient Apparition, Witch Doctor, or Warlock. Something with a big ulti. And instantly the game will be more amusing as you'll find yourself positioning yourself.
Plantimos gets caught out here. The rock goes down and Jara can't move away. The stomp, the jumping, beautiful Sonic Wave through. Didn't have the full Fatal Bonds combo, but gets Petashara low. Pikachu finding this with V2 with the BKB. Says DK might be tanky, but he can still die. Queen of Pain getting low. Dragon Slave cleans her up. But V2 cleaning up the back line. At this rate, it's going to be a Dragonite versus a Terrorblade. Actually, it's going to be DK versus Free. I think this is the moment you try and leave. The problem is you can't TP out. You're committed. And they'll just wail on him. It'll take a while, but inevitably, this DK is going to die.
Ultra kill for V-Tune. But you know what? Like, I was just talking about it. This whole team fight was decided by the position 5s. This whole team fight was decided by them. When they caught that gyro, Omni Knight was running towards him to try and save him. But there's a Warlock with the rock that separates everyone behind, so that the gyro falls before he can pop, before he can do anything, before the Omni Knight can pop Heavenly's Grace or Purification on him. So very, very well played by Warlock, but at the same time, Disruptor uses a pretty good Static Storm and catches most of HellRaisers inside. Sadly for him, it didn't make as much impact, but it did look quite cool. It was flashy. You still got 5 Disruptor though. You got to step it up, boy. It's not good enough. Step it up.
I think the interesting part to look at here as well is when you think about how those 5s and their big ultimates get countered, right? The Sonic Waves and those choke points, it ruined any opportunity for them to stay on top of the Static Storm targets. On the counter side, Petashara has a pretty awkward game because he can dispel one person, but this Fatal Bonds bounces onto so many. So it's really an Omni Knight versus a Quap impact after these 5s drop their big ultimates and their big combos.
Every single hero of HellRaisers is around the pit, prowling, waiting
Sonic
to go
Wave,
in.
oh, the Fatal Bonds, no, DM jumps in, Petashara's gone. Sonic trying to go down, drops the Static Storm, it's not going to be good enough. And Pikachu, he's running for the high heels, but V2 in melee mode is running him down. Nyx has the blink forward. This DK is not getting out alive. You can shrine, but it's not going to change the outcome.
And HR is styling on them. The way they're playing is just very good. They don't even have all their ultis. All they needed there is Fatal Bonds plus that Queen of Pain ulti with the Aghanims, and they destroyed 178. They tore them a new one. Like, that was really well played. Just only the gyro that manages to TP away. They need this BKB on the gyro if he wants to can't fight without it, but I believe they've fallen behind a little bit too much. And now they lost the fight without the rock, without Chaotic Offering.
Without the meta as well.
Exactly. And next team fight, they have to win versus it. Exactly. They have to win versus the Chaotic Offering and the meta. That one is going to be a rough one, as they're also playing against Nages.
And look at the buyback for this. They don't have it right now. This is the risk, right? Like, if you lose the fight here, maybe they just take 2 lanes. You're at a stage where J178, they might have a hard choice to surrender 1 lane, because it's going to be very hard to hold back this Terrorblade, who had an Arcane Rune as well, just to add insult to injury.
Perfect rune for TB, just to reduce the cooldown on that meta.
They're actually going to calm down, though. They don't want to go just yet. They go, wait, no, just strangle them out. We're winning.
Warlock is not with them. Warlock is on the opposite side of the map, so you can just wait that boy out, wait that little shadowy boy, and then go with him. Maybe draw some pentagrams around him.
Oh, here we go again. Boy, that wasn't looking.
That one wasn't good.
All right, I'm gonna stick to my
No, don't.
That was close enough, actually. That wasn't too bad. See?
Good job.
Improving.
Look, follow me. If you see Warlock, you need to hail Warlock.
You have to help him summon.
Line like this. So V.
V.
You did V.
And
then you go
another
to the
V,
side,
and then you can play.
Then to the other side, and then wow. There we go. We summoned the devil. Let's go, Warlock. Miposhka, you got this.
He's almost got level 2 demon playing powers as well.
That felt very sensual, you following my...
Yeah. I follow you wherever you go, you know? It's a team effort.
Anyways.
Miposhka's looking at him right now. He's like, what the hell's going on? Just imagine if you could see them in your game right now.
Yeah. He's like, I have this strange sensation. Like, I want to drop the rock right here. What's happening?
Oh, can you imagine like that ability like that in a MOBA where you actually have to draw things to summon them?
Is under attack.
There's been games like
I
that,
mean,
right? Like there's Scribblenauts, but I think it's been like a competitive game.
It could be fun. It could be fun. Why not? Darkseer already has one.
That's
Is
true.
dead, so if you want to kill another hero, just make him draw stuff. Like we Dota players, we're talentless
Radiant's bottom tower is
swine.
under
So
attack. Radiant's
It's coming.
don't make us draw stuff.
fortified.
It's coming. Petrushara would be a good target. Pikachu's pretty bulky, but this TB is starting to hurt, and he still has a 8-second BKB to work with.
Dire's middle tower is under
Stun him up. Pipe to protect though. Jump
Oh,
in.
good
Stomp
jump
gets
in.
Swift though. Now gonna drop down the rock. There's gonna be a static storm as well. The 5's having their effect, but now V2 with the BKB chasing in Bignum. D8 won't keep him alive. Sonic Wave across. SingStar mode activated, and Pikachu. He's still tanky. Forced to use the Elder Dragon form defensively here. It forces
They
them
will go
away,
back.
but
They use the rock, Lina bot back. They probably will even. No, they won't lose anyone. There's just no,
No.
catch on the side of 178.
that's the tough
Absolutely no
part as
catch.
well. Like the meta was running out. You just got forced to use the Dragon form at the end, and now you're kind of desperate to find value out of it, and there's nothing to be found.
Also, BKBs are active now on the side of 178. You have a BKB on Gyro, 10-second one, also 10-second BKB, 9-second BKB on Dragonite. But they both have ways of dealing with the magic damage of HellRaiser. And by the way, Dragonite, after that BKB finished off a Blink Dagger too. So he will be able to jump and stun a target, perhaps control it long enough to burst someone down. Being able to do that to a Queen of Pain on Warlock would be amazing for a J178. They can't win teamfights any other way, actually.
Oh, this blink could be quite tasty. But they've got to find the opportunity. They've got to somehow stun lock down Vsoon, who has 2.5k HP, almost at level 20. And by the way, Liz, look at his net worth. This guy, this is very close to just completely transitioning to the Terrorblade show. Part of me fears we were almost there, if not already. That's the big worry.
It's scary. He has a lot. What's up with the talents, though?
He went
Where
for
are
the health, right? Yeah. So he's not actually maxing out his dat. He's just trying to survive.
Has level 20, though. 8-second reflection cooldown.
Decent because the
Centaur.
Radiance.
5 plus 50. How close is Queen of Pain? Okay, Queen of Pain is only level 20. Not really close to 25. On the other side, we have the Dragonite with... Well, we have a Centaur with the Mist stun.
Whoops.
He was right there. Oh my, that was so close. They could have gotten Pikachu there. He was porting without the BKB. That would have been a massive kill for them, as he has no buyback.
Unfortunate. They missed the mark. And another one to mention is Gyro is getting closer to 20. Of course, that's when you start to become truly elusive on this hero with the plus 40 movement speed. But look at this. HellRaisers looking to actually raise up a riot, if anything, here, as they move bot again. They see Pikachu as well, but they'll back off. I think they are a little bit fearsome of this Dragonite at this stage. You have to be. It's one of those weird stages, right? Where, like, you can't kill him, but he can still kill you. You're not extremely tanky on all your cores.
He can just sustain himself for a really long time. That's what it is. You can still kill him if you use all of your spells, but then you're susceptible to being killed off by the rest of his teammates. And the bounty runes will spawn. Happy Durara steals the 2 on top. Queen of Pain might take the bottom 2, while the rest of HR just sticks around this bottom tier 3 as they keep the 178 team inside of their own base, cowardly hiding, waiting for the next push, next move of HR.
Yeah, just
What
keep
will
them.
it be, though?
I think they're just going to chill, because if you actually look, they're trying to buff up the TB more. DM is going for the Solar Crest build. I like this. Like, you know that Terrorblade is the way you win. Usually, I feel like often we'll see a Centaur in this scenario get tempted towards something like a 4-star, for example. Or going back for a Crimson Guard. But this is definitely an amazing Solar
I
Crest.
agree with the Solar. Solar Pipe is a really good build for this game. I agree with it completely. As they are able to buff him up quite a lot. Aghanims later on would be very good too. But for
Jump
that,
in.
they already have a
Pikachu?
Warlock.
They just went on Ribbit. In fact, TV's not even helping just yet. Now the 4-star. The Stampede going to be used. They drop the rock. Oh no! The failed bullet Sonic Wave through. Going to get them low. They do at least get the Optimus down from Disruptor, but they're dying quickly. Guardian Angel won't do enough. Lena's going to fall. They'll lose the Omni Knight as well. And with the BKB running out, V-Team backs up a bit. Goes for the switch over. Pikachu down to half HP. And it'll be slowed down by the reflection. Buyback comes out in the meantime from DM. But Pikachu is dead. V-Tune is out of control.
What did you say about the DK?
He takes a while to die. He definitely takes a while to die.
This is so problematic if they are jumping on the Rubik and they aren't even able to blow him up before the response of HR is there. But they try to go on that Rubik just below the high ground. They have no information up there. And unfortunately for them, everyone was up there.
DK? He just pulled back. Just gone follow up. DM. He's going to lock him in. Pikachu, no!
His Radiance is off. His Radiance was off the whole time, so the misses didn't even count in.
Oh no. They can take the whole lane?
Yeah, why was his Radiance off though?
I think he was worried about the reflection, right? But
yeah.
You're too focused on that small detail, and the reality is you need every chance to survive. Oh, a tragic error there. That's going to be 2 lanes. They won't leave. Or maybe they will the cooldown. I don't know if they have to though, Liz.
He has a BKB. He doesn't have to go anywhere. They can take down the Raxes. DK is certainly dead for 60 more seconds as he has no buyback. I wouldn't go back.
You push that advantage. You well on those buildings.
They will go even for this tier 3 on the bottom lane.
I mean, by the time that TB, is at risk of this DK respawning, he's going to have that Metamorphosis available again. It's a little bit worrying. They might back after this though. They're probably going to show a little bit of respect. Not push their luck, but it's a 30-second window. I don't even know if you do. Yeah, they ping it.
I think you go. Yeah, they're pinging for the shrines. Maybe now if he dodges it with the
Manta.
Manta dodge on the grid. That's actually not easy. That's not too easy. That's a good play. That's seriously a good play.
You can see how confident he's feeling, right? Like it's kind of all shown in the way he's been playing. This is the 2nd game in a row, by the way. He's yet to die.
Yeah. By the way, there's a map called Dota Polygon that you can go in. I used to fiddle in it quite a lot. You can go in and you can practice these things like dodging some spells with Manta, dodging stuns, glimpses with Manta, and glimpse really isn't that simple. You can, I believe, you can practice the port with Wisp as well, but that's just ridiculous. Did you ever manage, by the way, to relocate and then TP at the same time when you're relocating back?
That one is like 4 years ago, maybe.
You managed. I actually have 1,000 games on Wisp. I don't think I ever managed.
I think I randomed it. I don't think I I don't know. I felt like I didn't own.
Never. Like I just can't hit that tick of the server. Like it's.
There are players that can do it. There. So do you find yourself fiddling a lot? Don't worry. It's just Lena dying. Oh, Sonic Wave gets dodged, but the outcomes are still the same. The GA keeping up the moment, but gone.
Now she's.
Platypus in trouble as well. The kinetic field will not protect you for long. Activates the BKB. Static Storm goes down, but V-Tune hits way too hard. And Pikachu's just being ignored. Platypus, he's going to fall. They'll turn around now. Look at the damage. The big crits coming out. V-Tune will back up a little.
No,
it's got Metamorphosis. He can just switch this around with Pikachu because the BKB's running out, and there it is. DK not so tanky anymore. In fact, DK very dead. GG 2-0 HellRaisers. And they're not waiting around in this one. One more game and they'll be in the minor.
They definitely are not looking like the HellRaisers we saw yesterday. Today they're just stepping the pedal to the metal. They're just outplaying 178, outdrafting them. That first game, they outplayed the Meepo. The second game, I think it's a slight outdraft as well. The Queen of Pain plus Warlock combo just destroyed them. They couldn't sustain that damage at all. They couldn't fight it even, and they also waited a bit too much. They waited, like they would fight versus the Rock, and then they wouldn't fight for the next 2 minutes for some reason. Then they would fight against the Rock, and it's always a disadvantageous fight. Like how you play versus Warlock is you force him to use that ulti, and then you try to do as much as possible until he has it off cooldown again. J178, they didn't do that even once this match, and it's one of the reasons why they lost the game. But most importantly, Terrorblade was playing out of his mind. Queen of Pain was on point too. Very well played by HellRaisers. Looking forward to the last game of the, well, not the last game of the series, but possibly the last game.
That is subconsciously you making a prediction here, Liz, and it's hard to argue with it. 2 games in a row, HellRaisers, they haven't let up. They haven't looked like they were going to lose at any real point in this game. You know, there's signs of life occasionally from 178, but you never feel like 178 has got Raisers by the balls, right? It's always the other way around. And HR also, just the way they've been identifying the power spikes and when they can get up the high ground, then it never feels like they're too quick to a point where it punishes them hard, right? Like we saw that maybe a little bit too early push onto the high ground bot, but it was done in a confident setting. It wasn't like they were going in with a risk that they lose 3 or 4 heroes in return for a tower. And that's kind of the name of the game right now. Like, HellRaisers, the execution's been on point. I think 178 seriously need to target V2 now, because this is just getting ridiculous. He gets perfect games, actually. He just gets to farm to his heart's content. It's the second game in a row where he hasn't died and, in fact, has had a murderous amount of kills.
Yeah, you can't really ban all of his heroes out.
Oh, no, but like the way they play the game,
already, yeah.
right? Like go for like a hyper-aggressive, we're going to invade and shut you down.
I think it's also the way the game started. They try to kill him a couple of times, but every time he escapes with like a sliver of HP with like 10, 15, Warlock kills him up. It's all very frustrating for the enemy team. And once he came online without any deaths, they had nothing to do in this game any longer.
Well, back to the drawing boards, 178. It seemed like the DK maybe gave them the push they needed, but HellRaisers calm, cool, and collected despite being in hell, I guess. But they need a third one, by going for the first slot. This would have been in, but we have to give a chance. This is a best of 5, 178. Can they pull off the miracle? Can they win 3 in a row? Or is HellRaisers going to make this a very quick best of 5?